Yes. Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie game we've talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more. So, So, let me tell you, my daughter has been waking up way too early, and I have a really big thing of like, nope, it's too early, go back to bed, go back to sleep, and she always like, no, I don't want to, whatever. And eventually, she's like, fine, I will let you sleep an extra 10 minutes. I was like, cool. And then I hear pages turning in my room, and I kind of look over, and she has taken the massive, like, Spider-Verse full collection of that story. Like, it's really thick. It's a beefy boy. And she's just, like, paging through it. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cute. But also, I'm like, man, I have a bunch of graphic novels on there that are not appropriate for kids, number one. Number two, she is just manhandling this graphic novel. At one point, she goes, Daddy, I ripped a few pages. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
And I was like, yeah, I guess it. I mean, it's a graphic novel, so it's not like a comic book I'm particularly worried about, but I was just like, I mean, you're enjoying yourself and you're kind of reading, mostly just looking at pages, but you're letting me sleep. So, and also it's just kind of cute that she picked the Spider-Man, considering that she likes that Spidey's and Friends show. You watch that show?
I have not. You got to get her on Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Dude, you got to stop pressing that, man. It's like you work for them.
My dude, you should not have her read that book. It is vulgar.
Yeah, I should not have her read that book. That's why I'm like, are you getting paid by Dungeon Crawler Carl over there? Because you're just like, dude, you should read this. I'm going to read this. We should make a movie of this.
You should read it, Alex, but
it is fantastic.
It's on a list. I have a long list.
It's on a list that's on a Post-it note that's on his desk under a
right
pile
next
of
to his
Post-it
passwords.
notes.
I like 27 other books. I have no password Post-its.
False.
What do you take me for? So that Spidey and Friends, they gave Miles Morales a name, like a Spider-Man name, and it's absolutely not what they give him in the comics, so it's kind of weird.
What is his Spider-Man name in Spidey and Friends?
He is Spin.
Huh.
So there is Spider-Man, Spin, and Ghost Spider.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Spin.
Yep, Spin. Which again, in the comics, they actually eventually gave him a name, and it's a dumb name.
What is his dumb name in the comics?
Arachnakid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't like that either.
No.
Yeah, both are bad. But there is multiple years of both of them just going by Spider-Man, and then they thanks Spider-Man, and they go, oh yeah, you know what, you're welcome, and they kind of become awkward. Yeah. So, giving him a name is kind of weird.
It had to happen. I guess you could do worse than Spin. Maybe?
The other part is
that go with Arachnakid.
Yeah.
He went many years, though. Like, a lot of years without a name. So, that's where I'm like, why did you give him a name now? He's gone without a name for, like, a long time.
Somebody had to. I guess they got bored of marketing Spider-Man. Here's Spider-Man and his best friend Spider-Man.
Spider-Man of New York City.
Here's the Arachnakid. Sure.
Here's a whole bunch. Which Spider-Man shirt do you want? This Spider-Man or this Spider-Man?
Which the other part is, I mean, people just call him Miles Morales at this point.
Well, yeah, but
you can't do that when he's in a costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Got this whole.
But also,
secret
he's not going to
identity.
be. Also, at this point, he's probably not a kid anymore. Well, I guess, comic book characters, they don't really age, right?
Not until they die and come back to life.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. How long did it take Peter to become a professor?
Oh, man.
Yeah. You're kind
Decades.
of... you're losing me because I don't even remember when... I think he was a professor for a bit, but I don't even remember that. When he became a billionaire at some point, and then they just oh, by the way, he lost all his money. It's like, what?
Poor investments.
He was
invested
in a spider theme restaurant.
Yeah.
He was a cool... No, he made an internet 2.0 and called it the web. And that's
a little on the nose.
Yeah. That was a cool thing. But no, and then the other thing they kept making reference to, they're like, you should probably dress better. And he goes, Kohl's is affordable.
Also topical.
Yeah.
I am an adult who does not mind shopping at Kohl's. They just give you Kohl's cash. They just giving it away.
Kohl's has stopped becoming the deal for me. This is where we're going. This is what the show's about now.
It doesn't.
Kohl's.
It doesn't have to be. We could start the episode.
I guess we could.
We can. Let's do
I have
it.
no objections either way. I mean, I have to do a bunch of shopping at Kohl's. Are they sponsoring us?
They are not.
Ooh, I know somebody who works for Kohl's corporate. I can figure this out.
Okay. If you
well,
can
then I
figure it
need to know which way I should slant my comments.
I could tell you right now, though, that person gets a ton of Kohl's cash.
We need to get paid in Kohl's cash. I don't need real money. Just Kohl's cash.
She gets extra bonus discounts that all come with more Kohl's cash.
What?
Nice.
Yeah. He just gets the paycheck in Kohl's cash.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be terrible. My landlord does not take Kohl's cash.
Your landlord. That's like the people at work who still live with their parents and call them their roommates. Yeah, I hung out with the roommates last night.
The totally cool roommates, guys.
Your parents? Shut up.
I saw a movie last night.
Yeah, I got it. What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 312 or 312 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent, like Kohl's Cash. I'm your host, Eric Getty Gettinger. With me, Alex Orona.
What's going on, Getty?
Say hi to the audience.
Hi, everybody.
750 viewers on Twitch.
Yeah, something like that.
And YouTube chats.
And YouTube. Who's moderating these at the same time?
In theory, I am.
Put them G's in the chat. Put them G's in the chat. Put them G's in the... Can we make that a thing? Put the G's in the chat?
F in the chat for Joel.
No, put the G's in the chat. R.I.P. for Joel. But G's in the
F
chat.
is... That's what the F is.
Put the G's in the chat. Put the G's in... Yeah, we could do this. I think we can do something with this.
With us is moderator Alec Parks.
You know, if they sold video game accessories at Kohl's and they got Kohl's cash, I'd probably buy more.
They do.
They do.
Really? Last time I went, their electronics section was pretty barren.
No, I've bought video games from Kohl's.
It's barren, but they have some stuff.
Yeah, I bought. Again, they'll have like a Black Friday. They'll just have a bunch of cheap games. I'm like, why? You guys have video games? I'm gonna buy some of these cheap ass video games.
Mm-hmm. Can you say that? Is that a word that we're allowed to say?
Ass.
It's not one of the 7.
Ass.
I don't think we need an assisode.
I was about to say this is the assisode.
Big booty.
Oh no. Joel leaves for 15 minutes and we go completely off the rails. Is he the normal? He's the normal one now?
Get it's a pogisode.
You one. There's going to be a whole subsect of the listeners that don't get that, and they're going to Google the wrong thing.
Don't Google that.
They're going to Google the wrong thing.
I mean, it's better than Googling Goatsy.
Now, we have a problem.
I can continue. This can continue to get worse, Getty.
It can, and maybe it should.
No.
Getty, you just got to get him to the junior official information. Make it a JOI.
Nobody Google that either. Okay,
It's only getting worse.
we do play video games on this podcast, so I'm going to transition over to early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games that are designed to upset you in a lot of ways. And I hope that everybody enjoyed my pick this week of Trees Hate You.
Trees hate you. They do. This tree. So this is very much a game. It's like a 3D game where you're moving along this little map, and there's a very like fixed path, but it is kind of built in a way that trees will just mess you up in real weird ways.
How weird,
So-
Alex.
Trees will just start following you. They'll sometimes just pull out a gun and shoot you in the face. The one thing that kind of the whole thing is that you're supposed to like see what's going to happen and then memorize the pattern of how to get around it,
Right.
which I know these games. But the one that kind of upset me was that sometimes trees will just fall from the sky.
Oh, I loved falling trees.
But there was I would go through the level 15 times figuring out these patterns and never encounter a falling tree. And then it just started happening kind of rapid fire. And I was like, what is this? Why is this a thing now? And I learned how to avoid those too. But it's weirder the fact that there was large swaths of time where that did not occur.
They vary the way that the trees attack you quite well. So it is a fixed path sometimes. When you get to the second area, there is a deviation that you can go two different ways, and it makes you go depending on which way a signpost is not facing. But if we go through it, you already said that they blast you, they fall on you. Sometimes the trees will just burst out of the ground and get you. There's torpedo trees. At one point, one of the trees fell apart, or the top part of it fell off, and then it chased me because it was a ball. There were apples that were hand grenades.
Yes, of course.
How that makes sense.
My favorite death by far was that in the course of the stages, there are coins that you can pick up, and then lo and behold, you come across a video game cabinet that is Trees Hate You. And you can interact with the video game cabinet and play a even more pixelated version of Trees Hate You, where you just like kind of move around the screen and stay away from the trees. And if you do this, then after you die in that game, you come out of the cabinet and there are just trees surrounding you.
They're mad. There was a trap.
And that's how I got.
It's a trap.
It was a trap, but it was funny. I'll give him that.
This game is all about messing with your expectations, because the other part of it is that I always was pretty impressed at the different ways that the trees would like attack you, but then at the same time I also liked the idea of like mixing it up and trying to like, okay, how can I get around this? How can I figure this out? This game, while stupid and silly, is not impossible. They built it in a way that this is all feasible to work around. So what is the way?
Mm-hmm. Did you find it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't get as far as you did, but I every time I was stuck, it took me a minute. Like with the gun one, I thought it was automatic that they would shoot if you went near them. But then I figured out that there is a time for them to pull out the gun and then retreat their hands back in, so that if you got to goad out the gun.
Yep.
Like really kind of like get close enough where you don't get hit, but they shoot, and then run when they're pulling their hand back in.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of like leeway and stuff to figure out. I was actually like, this is not possible. This is ridiculous. Blah blah blah. That after like a minute, I was like, oh wait a minute.
If I can give you a couple of fun things that happened during the course of my playthrough, you mentioned that sometimes the trees will fall. There were a couple of trees that are in the environment and they will just fall over.
Yeah.
There's one part as you get further into the first area where a tree falls down and you can push it along up against some of the trees so that they can't shoot you because they'll fire into the tree.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really neat. There are ways to kind of trick the game and mess with the environment. I found that the faster that you moved around, you could get lucky. And sometimes the trees wouldn't get you, or you would preemptively move into like the firing radius, and then they would miss you. But it's tricky. Of course, you have to memorize the patterns. Alec, did you end up playing any tree game?
I unfortunately did not get to play either of these games this week.
Okay, no worries.
But man, I saw the trailer for Trees Hate You, and it looks hilarious.
It is fun. You at the beginning, I think we completely missed it, but you can design your character. I just used the pre-made one that was there. Same. But yeah,
I also liked that it was like, I don't know, you could just use this loser.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he's a loser that was getting slapped around by trees.
But you can make a custom loser, I guess.
You can. I want to know. I really want to know if either of you guys made a custom loser. I guess we were just regular losers, huh?
Yep. This time, not next time though.
No. Well, go ahead, all the rest of you losers. Check out Trees Hate You. There's still a demo on Steam. If you really like being punished. Or puzzles. Yeah. Probably both.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game.
Yeah, it's a punishing puzzle game where trees don't like you. But
it's surprising, Alec, that you didn't or not surprised, but like more disappointed that you didn't get a chance to play, because the next one, Alec, is really up your alley.
I was looking at that. It's Dongwu Odyssey.
This I specifically picked for Alec because it was reminiscent of another game.
Darkest Dungeon.
Yes. That he had gotten us on, or tried to get most of us on. But Darkest Dungeon, it is not a one-for-one with Darkest Dungeon, but there are similarities in the art style and...
narration?
Yeah. No narration in this.
Yes, there is.
At least, was there?
Yeah.
Maybe I should put my headphones on when I play games.
Yeah, because they definitely had the guy that would say, "Oh, like a swift blow" or something like that. Yeah, there was a guy doing that. It was trying really hard to sound like the guy from Darkest Dungeon, but still be its own. So I think it was actually really well voice acted. And then like people are in a row. So people will do different attacks from different rows, and like the damage it varies based on where you are in the party, and you can have up to 4 people.
Yeah, your position determines what actions you can use, and sometimes that I don't know about in this, but in Darkest Dungeon, sometimes that means hitting your own party or not being able to cure your own party.
I did not run into that issue.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this is a demo, so there's like you kind of have a finite group of people.
Yeah.
The other part is that there wasn't a sanity mechanic that I saw. Did you see a sanity mechanic, Getty?
A little bit, yes. It wasn't as heavily used. I played for like half an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that, but at no point was I in any immediate danger.
Okay.
A lot of times it would build up a little bit, but not enough to make any difference.
I also, this game is more narration based in the way that like there are definitive quests, and you could take on different quests that will be fighting different enemies in different like locations and different like events, like magic events, not magic events, but like things will happen where, you get some choices here and there.
Yeah, you can go ahead and select one quest over another, but I really like that. I appreciate everything that Darkest Dungeon did and has done. It just gave me a nice railroad experience. I selected the quest, and then it threw me into the area after I said, let's go there. and then it just like walked through. And it even gave you the option to like let the game auto battle if you wanted to, but then
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it would still go through it. You can do a whole bunch of abilities. I thought it was neat that the equipment wasn't overly complicated, but I mean, for the 30 minutes I played, I was getting cheap things. They're throwing money at me like crazy.
Yeah. And then you also get like a lot of story beats, because like even after defeating a quest, it was like you're in this town, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, you gotta, like, the guards are here, you're wanted, you gotta go. And so you have to escape, and you can move around the map and fight different enemies, and make some choices of where to go and who to talk to escape. So I thought that was like kind of a neat little like wrinkle to what you would expect.
I really wanted to get to the point where I could use the guild coins, because I had a lot.
I think that you use them to recruit new members to your party.
Was that when I would hover over it, I thought that it said you could use them to level up.
Oh, okay.
I never got far enough. Granted, half an hour I thought was a pretty decent amount of time to spend on Dongwu, but it might not have been. Probably could have played for another hour, at least another half an hour with the amount of quests it was throwing at me.
The problem I had with Dongwu, though, is that it is very much a Chinese game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because of that, there were things like a language barrier. So right off the bat, it actually asks you, I assume, what difficulty.
Oh, difficulty. Yeah.
But I couldn't tell because it wasn't in English. And then
That'll get you every time.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there were other things where it just wasn't properly explained. So the part, and I kind of stopped playing, not out of frustration, but kind of I just wasn't in the spot that I wanted to be. There was the part where you're escaping town, and I stop at a guy and he goes, "You want to recruit some party members?" I was like, "Oh, great!" Because you start with the story of two characters.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yep.
It kept telling you that you're trying to start the mission without a full party, and you couldn't figure out how to add the people into your party.
Yep. And then I just said, "Okay, fine," and then it just put me in a mission that needed 4 people where I only had 2, even though I had recruited 2 people. And they were following me around in town.
It took me a little bit to get it to Alex. I was clicking around. Every time I was like, "Okay, let's do this." It was like, you don't have a full party, and I was like, "All right, hold on." So then I started clicking on everything, and eventually you had to interact with the character pictures on the pane on the right-hand side of the screen. And by clicking on them, it lets you put them into the party, and then you could reposition them.
And I wasn't even, I didn't even mean to click on the accept the quest. I was trying to get out of that menu to try to figure it out. Again, things weren't really, expressly explained. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that, some things like that were, the menus were hard to parse. So for me, I was like, okay, this could be a little bit a tutorial of here's how you add a party member.
Yeah, could have been helpful. Again, not the easiest mechanics to understand, and I'll tell you, when I was equipping my characters, I couldn't find some of the items, so I was like, well, this is goofy, and then I hit what I imagine is the reset button, and then I went to go re-equip. The items weren't there, so I had to exit out of the pane, open it again, and then my items were back, and I could equip them to the characters. But this, it's a demo. I'll give it to them. Yes. I like what they have presented so far. Really wish I had had my headphones on for it, I guess. I swear that I did, though. Maybe there's something wrong with them? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I definitely liked the way it was presenting itself. I liked the art. I liked the sound effects. I liked the gameplay. It is very intricate, very difficult. Like you're saying, you had no problems with danger. I definitely was on the verge a lot of times because I wasn't fully
Partied up.
aware of what my abilities were gonna do and what like that kind of meant as far as like, okay, this adds block, but it does a block attack, it adds like defensive stats, and then the other, it was just kind of like hard to parse through all that. But I think that's kind of what these games are, is that you're supposed to be like digging into menus and like reading through large amounts of information. I think that's what Darkest Dungeon was, right?
Not so much. Darkest Dungeon had a lot of manage your sanity, manage your things, upgrade your town.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what did every single status effect do?
I don't know. I mean, some of them were pretty self-explanatory. Most of them were dots.
Yeah, I guess I get that. I'm just saying, is I feel like I was reading a lot more for Darkest Dungeon versus, any other kind of normal game. I feel like Darkest Dungeon just is one of those games that you're like, okay, I have to read through a lot of information to understand.
Maybe that was my problem, that I didn't read through enough.
I don't know.
Either way, this is a good one though. I think this is a good one of those if you want to, if you're dying for the next thing, because obviously Darkest Dungeon 2 was so different.
Yeah, it is.
So check it out, please, Alec. You have to go play Dongwu Odyssey right now. Go. Are you going?
I'm going. I'm downloading it.
He's going right now.
You better.
As
All
we
right.
speak.
So while you're downloading it, should we take a quick break, or do we want to? No, you know what? We're gonna knock out freebies because we're feeling generous. We got a fat stack of free games to hand out on other websites, and we want you to play them.
Freebies.
Freebies!
Alex,
Play
are you ready
all
for
the
freebies?
Yep, I am ready. I'm pulling them all up now, so go for it.
All right, let's start with Odd Sparks, an automation adventure on the Epic Game Store.
Oddspark, it's a blend of automation and real-time strategy for both the diehard fans of automation genre and the automation curious. So it is kind of like, building a factory, but the factory building is tower defense. So you will make items that will make bullets that will put them into cannons that will then fire them. But things will always be trying to make, like you'll have robots going out and getting ore, feeding it into the ore machine, which will refine it, et cetera, et cetera. So you're constantly like creating these conveyor belt of machines that will then feed into a weapon, like a weapon system on your base. So if you're into the automation, I'm going to send this to Joel actually, because he is definitely, when we played was it not Factorio, but I can't remember what we played, but when we were playing one of those games, he was definitely the building of all the conveyor belts and making everything as efficient as possible. So
Factnautica, right?
Factnautica? What?
No, I'm just messing around.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what the name of that one was.
I have it
The factory
installed.
game, though, yeah?
Man,
Satisfactory.
it's on the-
Satisfactory.
Yes.
Satisfactory.
There you go.
Okay. Next up, Set Yourself on Fire on Steam.
All right. This is A Quiet Town Awaits Death. Two young women fall in love. That's the explanation.
That's the whole thing.
Yep. It's a visual novel.
Right.
This actually looks kind of interesting. It looks like animated very well. Definitely like a conversation about a town that is slowly dying and you're left there. So what do? You like, as a kid, you always want to get out of whatever your hometown is. And I assume this is a story set very much the same way.
What I want to know is why there's a demo for it.
There's no demo for it. This is the
Yeah,
game.
there is. There's a demo for it too.
I'm on Set Yourself on Fire. I do not see a demo. Oh, I guess it's another like Steam page. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
So bizarre.
Could be.
But you can get director's commentary for $6.
Whoa. Do it.
Next.
Are you doing it? Okay. Anchor's Lament on Steam.
It's a multiplayer roguelike strategy game where you build your team to fight other players with unique gameplay mechanics. Everything follow the beat of the anchor. What?
What?
That's
All right.
confusing. Yeah, that's like more like a puzzle, like almost like a board, like a puzzle game. Like what was Getty? What was that board game? Queen's Blood. A little like Queen's Blood.
Okay.
You make a team of like kind of cards, and you put them on the board, fighting other people on the internet.
Yep. Next up, Broken Voyage on Steam. Wait. Yeah.
It's a detective-focused horror game that takes place on a whaling boat gone silent, where the player will solve murders, unweave the strings behind a grander mystery, and resist the allure of the Lovecraftian monster. This seems like a cool little mystery puzzler. You're just going through and unlocking different puzzle pieces, like a little escape room, but on a whaling boat. Seems creepy, and I'm into it. Came out 8 days ago.
Great. Next up, Office Hours on Steam.
Sort forms, get to know your mysterious new colleagues, and unravel mysteries they're trying to cover up as you step in to replace the previous RH, aka HR, as a mysterious pharmaceutical company. So this one also is like a job simulator where you're doing forms and stuff as HR, but also there's something deeper going on, like a mystery, and you're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Interesting. This one also says that it was created over the span of about 7 months by a bunch of students.
Very cool. And came out 8 days ago. A lot of these games are new. So.
Not sold on office work, but okay. Next, the solitary existence of a little universe on Steam.
In this one, it's an interactive novel, so a visual novel, where you will play as a lost soul wandering a forsaken desert, accompanied by a mysterious girl. Explore ancient ruins and face obscure choices, so it's a choose-your-own adventure. Your decisions will shape your journey, and often in ways you'll never fully understand. Will you find peace or something else? This one's got a really beautiful animation style.
Yeah,
This almost
except
looks
it's AI.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the developers, some of the images were created using generative AI.
Get rid of
You
this
just
one.
got AI'd, Alex.
Yep, getting rid of this. All right, no one should ever play this one. Well, I don't think that we should. I do not want to promote AI games. Next
and last. Hell is empty. Demons are playing a Pokerlips on Steam.
This is trying to be a little bit like Balatro, where it's a deck-building roguelike shedding card game where you play as Satan, a humble civil servant in hell, and embark on a 3-chapter story mode. So, also a little bit like, what was it? What was the last one? What was the last week we had games that were just like it? Inscription.
Yeah.
So there is you're playing against people. There is a story going on and more stuff going on outside the board. But for the most part, it's very much like Balatro, but with a story.
All right.
No AI in this one, Alec?
Nope.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great.
Although there might be a language barrier.
I assume there's going to be an English mode.
I hope
have
so.
not played this to know. I do like Balatro.
We did it. We now deserve to take a break.
Yeah.
You serious? Alex won't let us take a break. He just cracked that whip.
He said it's fine. He said a short
getting-
one.
Getting a little lazy.
Well, that sure wasn't the break that we wanted, but it's probably the break that we deserved. I'm not going to tell you what happened during the break, but just know things got real serious.
Alex
Some
made
real-
us work.
There's some good stories.
It's,
Listening to those stories was work. 100%.
Yeah.
the words wild and out were said many times.
Getty, we've been playing
where's
some
Nick
games.
Cannon? Where's Nick Cannon when you need him?
You got too many kids, man.
He does have too many kids.
But I
Speaking
guess
of too many kids, Alex, tell us about Marvel Rivals.
Okay, I wanted to tell you guys about Marvel Rivals be doing what Overwatch didn't, which is they are bringing the PvE content, and they've done this before. They've done PvE content before, but now, and it's not even all PvE. It's technically PvP.
Overwatch had PvE for some of the holiday events way back in the day. It was not great.
Not this. They have Dracula taking over New York mode, which uses a lot of the maps. It's part of the story that Dracula took over. But it ends up being a horde shooter mode with very specific heroes, which you equip their gear. You equip different gear, you get different loot. And what's fun about it is that it completely changes their kit of what you would play in normal Marvel Rivals to like an absurd degree.
Okay.
So an example is you have the Punisher, who's
a
got an
guy?
assault rifle. He's an assault
Just
rifle and a shotgun.
Regular guy.
But you can equip gear that makes him have infinite ricochet, and there'll be like 100 enemies coming at you, and you just see like just lines of bullets constantly going, and you're just blasting. And it's just it's a ridiculous sight to see. So you get a lot of that stuff. You get a lot you get a lot of that with these different characters and their different abilities. Moon Knight, he normally throws blades, and if he puts an Ankh down, it'll ricochet off the blade for more damage. So it'll hit somebody, go to the Ankh, hit the person again, go to the Ankh, like here, going back and forth forever.
Okay.
And there's gear that makes him just a tank where he just punches things. And if you put an Ankh down and punch the Ankh, it makes a wave that reverberates outside and it hits everybody around you. So you just get all of these enemies are surrounding you, and then you just keep punching this Ankh, creating this giant shockwave of damage. And like by the end of any kind of good match, you're like, oh, I did 2.5 million damage.
What's a normal amount of damage? Like 12?
Again, there's
13?
like there's different levels of modes up to like Nightmare 100 mode. So you could just keep
Nightmare
going.
100? Is this now Diablo?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, yes. And the gear is also the colored loot and whatnot. Yeah, it's all there. It's all there.
It's a pyramid scheme.
And the bosses are very fun. There is a Captain America in werewolf form.
When did Captain America become a werewolf?
It was I believe it was a what if comic.
Oh.
We need to corner the market and come up with a good name for Captain America werewolf.
Captain Wereamerica.
It's too wordy.
I think they're just saying wear cap.
Nah, we can do better than that. Where's Joel?
I'll have to ask him. And then one is Squirrel Girl, the Squirrel God. So
yeah,
like, there's a squirrel god, and you fight they turn the squirrel god into a vampire, and at the end you fight Kingpin. That's pretty fun.
Is he also a vampire?
Nope, just a normal Kingpin. He's just mad. So overall, that mode is very fun, but the new thing that they're rolling out now in the rollout to Avengers Doomsday,
and that's a movie.
They are releasing PvP, but specialty PvP modes in reflection of the movies. So the first one is the first Avengers movie, where you only can pick the characters from the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
And it's 6v1 on versus Loki. So one person randomly gets selected to be Loki, and then you get the other Avengers. And Loki's powers are different than what he plays in the game, where now he can tap people and take control of them. He can summon his own team of 6 different Ghost Avengers. He could do a lot. He could do lots of different like abilities now, where he can mess with people and do stuff. And it's like, a 6v1 mode. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, but what about the one-liners? Like, we have a Hulk.
Oh, no, they are already in the game.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, Hulk's ultimate, he turns into a giant beast Hulk, but does the Loki slam where he can grab somebody and slam them around back and forth, and it's animated just like the movie.
So you could finally recreate this scene and feel good about it.
But you could have done that before, but now you could do it. Now you could do it in the mode.
You could do it legitimately.
What is a beast mode intended. Hulk?
He's bigger, got more spikes, longer hair.
Seems lazy.
Yep.
He can get rageful. Those are different. Anyway,
Does
it's
pants
pretty fun.
rip more?
Maybe. I can look into that. But they also like recreate some of the scenes for like animations when the match is done. They do the thing where they all like are facing Loki, like Hawkeye with the bow and arrow and stuff. So it's all kind of cool recreating some of these fantastic scenes. And also, there is like a community area you can go to. It's Times Square, and apparently they just have Avengers playing.
Cool.
Like on one of the big boards, which apparently is a nightmare for streamers. They keep getting TOS'd.
Yeah. I'm sure. Can't do that. Disney doesn't want you to do that.
Yep. So the next mode is going to be Avengers Age of Ultron, where it's going to be a 1v6 with Ultron, because he's already a character in the game. The one I'm interested for, though, is the Infinity War and Endgame, because Thanos is not in the game. There's no animation, there's no design for him. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to make that work.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, but it's a very neat thing to do. Joel already said that he might reinstall just to play these modes with me.
Really?
Whoa.
It's more the fact of that, there's a lot of pressure in with the games that he's like, I don't know, there's too many new characters, there's too many things going off, there's too many complicated things like mechanics. And I respect that, but when you come down to these modes, it's like you can really focus on one thing. So
Unless you get to be the bad guy.
well, again, then you could, yes, but again, you're gonna learn this mode, right? You're not gonna learn every single character's abilities. You're gonna learn this one mode. Yeah. So that's the updates with Marvel Rivals. The Avengers one just went live today.
Cool. How many little kids do you have to punt out of your party?
I don't be punting little kids. I mean, not in the game at least.
Out of your party? No? Okay.
Yeah.
On the other side of the spectrum,
Uh-huh.
I played Lords of the Fallen.
What's the
that?
spectrum in this question? Is it like difficulty? Is it style of game?
Take your pick. They're completely different. They're two different things. While Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
It's a hero shooter, yes.
Lords of the Fallen is a Souls game with some dudes just doing dude stuff. So the original Lords of the Fallen came out... Oh, man. I need to check this because this game was re-released as like a 2.0, and that's what I played. They just given it away. It was one of the free games on PlayStation Network if you had a basic...
2014?
2014 was the original release of it, and then they released it again for this 2.0 mode in 2023. And they made enhancements to it. One of the things that it automatically does when you log in to play the game for the first time, or as you start a new game, it's like, hey, do you want to add modifiers? And one of the modifiers is to have the normal amount of monsters that was in the first game. I guess when they upgraded it, or when they released all of the new version of it, they took out monsters because there were too many. I didn't see it as a problem.
There was talks about this game in the way that it wasn't tuned the best.
Okay.
Just like, why is it this way? It's like it was kind of a weird anomaly. Some people loved it, but the reason why they loved it was because there wasn't a ton like it, because it wasn't tuned like other games. It didn't play like other games, and there was a lot of things that were just out there ideas, including the amount of enemies. And so it was remastered, which is like, again, I think what you're talking about. And, it's got a lot of differences. I mean, and that can be the way. There was a thing with Dark Souls 2 where the re-release, like remaster, they moved the enemies. So enemies were not in the same spot where they normally were, and people were actually very upset by this.
I can only imagine if you played it originally and then you came in and played it now. It's probably night and day. It's definitely going to be a different experience. So one of, like I said, the cool thing is that you can add all these modifiers. You can make it so that the game is more difficult, but you can also change the way that some things occur or they happen. You can randomize the items that you receive, but the difference between Dark Souls or what we played earlier this year, Demon Souls, or even Kazan, is that in Lords of the Fallen you have a umbral lamp that you carry around with you, and it lets you see into the umbral realm. So there are times when you need to use it to see where you can go or open paths for you. When you die and you're in regular mode, you go into the umbral realm, and it gives you like a second chance to try and survive whatever battle you're in. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, was really cool, because you don't usually get a second chance at these games. It's just like, oh, you died, too bad, go take a hike, come back.
Yeah.
But by adding this whole extra element to it, it gives you more of a sense of urgency. Like in Sekiro, when you can come back to life. You only get a certain amount of those, but this is more high stakes, because in the Umbral Realm, you won't have your full health bar, and you experience what's called Wither, and it keeps you from having your full life. There's ways to get around it, but for the most part...
like Demon Souls, right? Your life bar?
Yes, but there are ways that you can recover the health. But your regular healing doesn't do as much healing when you're in this mode either. But, you know, there are also similarities to Lords of the Fallen. You have your campsites, but, again, not exactly the same. Because there are normal campsites, but then there's other areas where you can drop a umbral seed, and that'll create a save point for you. Or it'll create a place where you can come back to.
If you can't find one, you make one.
Yes, and there are very few and far between of the... in this one, it takes the form of like another lamp bearer who's fallen, and you'll just go up to it and you can activate it. Ultimately, the purpose of this game is to, what they tell you, to light or extinguish all of the pyres that exist, these beacons that are red. You go up to them with your lamp and you wave it at it, and then like little butterflies come out. It's really cool. And then the beacon turns white, and that allows you to progress further in the game. After I finished it, it was like, yo, you didn't have to do that. There are different endings that you can get.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, so I ended up getting whatever is considered like the normal ending, the radiant ending, but there's ways that you can not interact with any of these beacons, and then you can still end the game. It seems interesting.
The canon ending?
I didn't Google it to find out what the canon ending is, but the ending that I got was fine. The last boss was it's not hard. I was actually kind of disappointed. I was like, all right, we're going into this other realm. We're going to fight a god. And it's like, all right, there's a big god in the background, and he's like monologuing, but then he sends this guy out to go after you. The guy hit me not hard. And I just kept like dodging around him. And at this point I had like the maximum level weapon that I could. I had a loadout that I liked, so I had a pretty easy time with that last boss. I was kind of underwhelmed by it. It's a little upset, because it did have a boss that comes back to life, but after you downed him twice, it was like, okay, he's done.
Oh, you wanted a phase 3.
I thought that there was going to be a phase 3. The first two phases were very easy, and they didn't really vary much what he did in phase 2. He would disappear more frequently, but that was it. Lords of the Fallen, it's not probably the best Souls game I've played, but knowing like its history, its story, what it started as, and how it evolved over the course of like 10 years. This is kind of neat. It was fun, and it had some cool mechanics. I really like the idea of that umbral lantern that you can interact with, where you can jump back and forth between the Shadow Realm. It was neat. It's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is definitely one of those. It's a what is it called? A cult. It's got a cult following.
Mm-hmm.
Like once it came out, no one really talked about it, and it kind of disappeared. But then people like were kind of like in the hush whispers talking about like, yeah, there's this game and it's pretty cool. People should check it. More people should play it. No one played it. No one's talking about it, et cetera, et cetera. So this was definitely one I had heard of before. So it's like, oh, that's kind of cool that you're playing it. I was aware of it, but I'm also like, I don't have the time to play like a cult classic Souls-like. So I'm glad you did, though.
I mean, the price was right. I got it for free. So,
and in fact, I actually got it confused with another one. Is this pretty linear?
Funny you should say that. Yes and no. So
Okay.
There is
Say
a
more.
path that it wants you to take, but you don't necessarily have to follow it all the time. So it'll railroad you to get through a level or a stage. But then after that, it doesn't necessarily give you the like, hey, you should probably go here and do this. It's slightly open in that regard. There were a couple of times when I was just like chasing my tail because I didn't know where to go. I was like, well, I thought I did all of these things, and I had to like check around, and I was like, oh, I missed a whole area. So I had skipped like area is 3 or 4, and I had done 1 through 5. Well,
Whoops.
1, 2, 1, 2, 4. Let's call it 1, 2, 4, and 5. So I went back and I did area 3, and I just like, I could have slept through it. I was just walking around like poking stuff once with the glaive I had, and they just fall over.
Because you had already over-leveled for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so a little bit open, a little bit not.
Yeah, there's times when it's very like you need to go here and do this, and then there's other times where it's like, I don't know, man, just figure it out. So it's like running around finding areas that I didn't realize were there. I didn't necessarily get all the upgradables. I didn't do every single side mission or quest that there was, but it seems like that's also linked to how you progress the story and if you extinguish or if you light the beacons.
Now, Getty,
It's not really clear what you do with
these
the beacons.
games. With these games, what I'm always here for is to kind of see the memorable bosses. Did they have memorable bosses?
The bosses were, some of them were really cool. Some of them not so much. The one that gave me, I'll tell you, the one that gave me the biggest run for my money was he looked like he was a Titan from Attack on Titan. And
Cool.
you like go into the area, you swipe at him a couple of times, and then he starts puking lava. And you have to run up to a building and the ramparts around the building because he'll start. You can't stand in the lava. Then he'll start attacking you on the building, but he has a hand that comes out of his mouth.
Weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably the most difficult boss that I encountered. Some of the other ones, they were really cool to look at, but none of them really jumped out at me.
Okay. So not too many.
Not too many. Yeah, there were a couple of bosses here and there, but then it did a good job of, after you defeated a boss, or maybe they did a bad job at recycling the mobs, but you defeat a boss and then later that same type of mob would appear, and then you had to fight like a regular version of them.
Okay.
And it was like,
Huh.
Didn't I beat you? Oh, okay. You're this guy.
I've heard that before. I remember one of my favorite iterations of that was Symphony of the Night.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Okay, cool. Thanks for playing that one, Getty.
Yep, now you don't have to. You're welcome.
So the
some
real
G's in the
question,
chat.
The real question is, when are you going to play Silk Song so you can beat it before the rest of us?
Is it on sale right now?
I don't
It's a
know.
very difficult game though.
Yeah? Yeah, it's very difficult.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not on sale, but it's
how
only
many
20.
hours? How
It's
many
only 20
hours head
bucks.
start did I give you for Sekiro? It was only 20 hours.
Yeah. And also it's $20.
I'm gonna wait until it's a little bit cheaper. Sorry, I
20
still
bucks?
I still have a bunch of games that I need to make it through, man.
I have 40 hours on record for Silk Song.
I have like 30.
I've got a stack of 3 games that I'm supposed to. And don't you have Indiana Jones for me? What's up,
do.
man?
Yeah.
I need to play that too.
I also have one of your lands.
Yeah, I need that land so I can play my Hope deck.
It's the worst deck.
That deck is amazing.
It's an ass
You
deck.
talk bad about Hope.
It's an
How
ass
did
deck.
you wind up with one of the lands?
We played.
Guess I just
we
left
played
it.
Magic. He just left a card. I'm holding it and reminding him like it's important.
I mean, the sleeve is what's important.
It is. It is sleeved.
Yeah, if I had the extra sleeve, then I wouldn't need the land, but it's just an island.
Ah,
Just a regular island. It's not even like it's a fancy...
it's not a
Yeah,
full
it's not even
text island.
And it's not even
It's
like
not-
a. It's not even from like a collection. It's like an actual Magic the Gathering island.
Yeah, as they will be.
Not a Ninja Turtles one.
The pizza one? Oh,
Yeah.
Those pizza ones are hard to look at.
Yeah, it's really cheesy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yep.
No. Boo this
Well-
man.
Well, with that, we're going to move on to our final segment of the night, One Last Thing. This week's One Last Thing is brought to you by... What do you keep saying, Alex? Put them G's in the chat?
Put the G's in the chat.
Put the G's in the chat.
Double G's in the chat.
That's 2 G's for Joel, right?
No, R.I.P. for Joel. G's
Yeah,
in the chat for
it's
us.
an F.
Joel.
Put an F in
Joel's
the chat for Joel.
G's in the F's and the J's.
Yep.
All right, this week's One Last Thing is brought to you by G's in the chat? Question mark?
Yep.
All right, my one last thing. I made good on my my promise. I started. What was the game that I started?
I don't know.
Dungeon
Wulong?
Crawler?
Oh, Wulong. Yes.
Wulong.
Yes.
This I feel like when I played the demo for it, I thought it was something else. I'm realizing that it is like it's like the Dynasty Warriors games, but slightly Souls, because it's got
I was
the
told
characters
this is very Souls-like.
It is,
I watched-
but it has the
I watched
characters
Dave Rock
from
play it.
Okay. It has the characters that are always in the Dynasty Warriors games, which is like the Yellow Turban Army has come to take over the land. You are
I think what you're
allied
referring
with
to
Liu
is-
Bei.
I think what you're referring to is Journey to the West.
Yes, but this was the whole
Because you're the Monkey King.
historical, no Monkey King.
And his pig friend. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't get a BMW, sir.
I don't know.
I
what
don't
that
have
means.
a Black Myth Wukong.
You only got
so-
any pogs?
Alex, I want you to Google that right now, and leave it on your computer. Don't.
They didn't announce what it is.
No, I don't want
Moving
you to
on.
announce.
Moving
Thank
on.
you, Alex. What's your one last thing?
Everyone's talking about Saros, so I was like, I should probably play Saros. But instead, I'm playing Returnal. This game's all right. I'm pretty happy with it. I played it a long time ago, and I was like, okay, I know what this game is now. I deleted all my save data. I was like 4.5 hours, maybe 6 hours in. I deleted my data, and now I'm already like caught up within like 2 hours, because I'm now much better at the game than I was. So it's kind of fun. I'm really happy. I'm really enjoying it now. So we'll see. Because of the Final Fantasy taking a break from Rebirth, as I just finished Junon. So 100% of the Junon area, minus getting all 3 stars in any of the combat challenges. So on to the next.
Now you just gotta finish Returnal 3 times.
Yep. I hear you. Or at least once. I would like to do it once.
I mean, that's like a third of the story, so do what you need to. Alec?
Well, I did it. I pulled the trigger. I bought Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. So if you don't ever hear from me again, that's why.
It's because you're playing that other game that's like, WoW.
No, Project Gorgon.
Yep.
But Heroes of Might and Magic, that's got an addictive streak to it. Just one more turn. Just one more. Just one more. Just one more turn. It's okay. I'll go to bed after this turn.
He never went to bed.
There is no bed. No.
Yep.
There's
Only
no bed.
ADHD.
Only Zool.
Only Zool.
Only Zool. The bar is low.
The bar is low.
We have a bar?
Especially on the assisode.
Oh, the assisode. Thanks, River. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah. We're going to get as many barks on the track as we can.
One can only hope.
All right.
Get us out of here, Getty.
I'm going to try and read through this, and he's going to bark his brains out. That's fine. That'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Blue Sky at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where Thursdays we will podcast. Sometimes we'll have other stuff. What other stuff, you ask? You have to log in to find out, because we're not going to put what we're really streaming on our streams. Right,
We just be
Alex?
streaming on Thursdays. Either the podcast or something else.
No, it says it's podcasting time. It's a real thing.
No, but the week that we're not podcasting.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Yeah.
I like to
Exactly.
jump around.
Yep.
What will he play? We don't know.
No Expedition 33, that's for sure.
Will he
I
play?
need to get back to that.
Also,
He's
we don't
not-
know.
He's not caring about those that came after.
He likes
That's
to come
rough.
before.
I mean,
Uh,
Okay. No. No, I'm not going there.
If you would like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com, and you can provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. I would love it if you could check out our Patreon, where you can get monthly pictures of our dogs. I'll read off your name as an executive producer. What's your name? Just tell me what it is. Just give me your name. We'll give you free copies of Early Adopters. You can play games with us. Please, for the love of God, somebody, do the thing.
somebody play a game with me.
Alex needs more friends. The
They
rest
will
of us are trash people.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the worst timeline.
It is.
All right, thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
Good game, Getty.
Good game, Joel.
F.
Good game, Alec.
GG.
G's in the chat.
G's in the chat.
G's in the chat.
It's fun to say.
All right, well.